Hi, this is Keith.
And I'm Linda.
And this is our trip report to
Flattop Mountain.
And December 27th. It was a great trip, and we hope you follow along and enjoy it.
Our adventure began at 8:15 in the morning. We started off at the Bear Lake Trail. The elevation there is 9,475 feet. The trail begins in a nice wooded area which is free from a lot of the wind that we will be experiencing later on in the day.
So hiking out from the trees, we get up to about 10,500 feet, and it's the first kind of milestone, which is the Dream Lake overview. And it's a different perspective because the day before we were actually hiking on that lake, which was kind of interesting. But from this point, as we get higher and higher up, 11,200 feet, we start getting out over the tree line and more up onto the tundra kind of area up there. And the winds start picking up, and we feel a little bit more of the wind. We're a lot less sheltered at this point.
And speaking of wind, we can look over from this point and see Long's Peak out there, and we see the winds carrying over a nice snow plume over the top of it, and it's really foreshadowing what's coming ahead for us.
This is our view eating lunch. Pretty good, huh?
So at this point, we were still pretty much on trail, but we kind of should have been taking a traverse off to the left. We ended up going straight and made it a little bit more difficult than it had to be. Plus, we missed an Emerald Lake overview as well, too, which we'll get to later on.
Well, Keith just mentioned that our trek became a little bit more difficult, and that meant we had a rock field to now go over instead of a trail. So at this point, we took our snowshoes off and hiked it up the rocks. And from this point on, the snow that was up there was now ice, and so it was just fine with our boots instead of our snowshoes anyway. And as we were after the rock field, we did manage to find the trail, which was still a little bit difficult to see with all the blowing snow, but it was there.
Here we are at the top, and boy, when we said it was windy, we mean real windy. 45, 55 mile an hour winds, gusts of even more. It had to be negative double-digit wind chill. It was cold, and it felt like your face was being sandblasted. It was really good to get up there, but it was equally good to be coming down and going off the top of the mountain.
Well, being up at the top certainly took a toll on us, as you can see with Keith's world's largest snotsicle there.
Yeah, but even with the world's largest snotsicle, I think we still make a very pretty pair. Don't you guys think so? Now, we talked about how hard it was to find the trail at a certain point going on the way up, but on the way down, we found it pretty readily. We were kind of amazed that we had such a problem going up. At one point, we were standing on the trail and took this picture, the big rock up on the left. That's where we ended up going up. I mean, you can see the distance that we were off. And by actually coming down the right way, we were able to see things like Emerald Lake that we didn't get to see on the way up the trail. Now, the day before, we were hiking on that lake, and now we're able to see it from well over 1,000 feet higher than that.
Well, as you can see, we had a few issues going up that pass, didn't we?
Yeah, it was fun, but a couple things you need to keep in mind when you're going up there.
Well, if the wind is 35 miles an hour at the bottom, it's probably 60 at the top. So you're going to need goggles and a mask and all that good stuff. You may not be cold and have enough layers, but minus 15 wind chill is going to get anything that's exposed.
And the trail might not be as well marked as you think it might be, so you just have to really keep your eyes looking out for the cairns and the trail so you don't get yourself in trouble.
Especially with all the snow, and you're doing it between Christmas and New Year's too, right? So thank you guys. Bye-bye.